Welcome to Your Strategic Partner podcast, where we give entrepreneurs the secrets, strategies, and processes to increase brand equity and max out revenue. Every now and then we'll have a couple of guests that we're going to have to interview and whatnot. And first things first, she is out of Florida. She is young and amazing, mama of four, an incredible wife, an incredible businesswoman, a coach, and a mentor, and that is not other than Holiday in the building. What's up, Holiday? Number two, she goes all the way from the Northeast to the Southeast, and she is a rock star coming with a background of psychiatry. She is the voice of wisdom and voice of reason to us all. Helped so many incredible individuals, an entrepreneur with an incredible background, and that is none other than Debi Salmons. What's up? And yes, you already know we brought the one, the only, the one with no mercy, Counselling Carlton. My man has 2+ decades of experience in not only traditional business, network marketing, coaching, training, and a heart transplant survivor. My man's got 2 lives in there, and I'm so excited to have you guys. So congratulations and welcome to our very first episode of Your Strategic Partner Show. And I'm so excited to be rocking with you as always. So Ali D, why don't you kick us off? Take 30 seconds or a minute. Tell everybody a little bit about you that I might not have said already.
All right. Well, thank you so much for that intro. It's so great to be with you guys. So yeah, I'm Ali D, and I have been in network marketing businesses on and off for a little over 10 years. I started right out of high school. You name the company, I've probably been a part of it. And I really struggled to see the success that I was looking for. But over the last couple of years, I have really built up myself thanks to these amazing strategic partners of mine. So I'm telling you, you guys are going to get so much value from these guys because they have really helped build me up as well. And so like Ali Mehdaoui said, I'm a mom of 4, and I started building my own online business that I now run while having my kids, being a wife, going to school online part-time, and working a 9-to-5. So if I can do it, you can do it.
Hey, let's go to the one and only Debi Salmons. What's up?
What is going on? Oh my gosh, this is so exciting, right? So exciting. Ali and Ali and Tukoyo. Oh my gosh, you guys. So excited to be here. I think I'm the old timer in the room, kind of creeping up there. You got me beat, Tukoyo? I don't know. I'm going to be 59 this year. Do I have you beat? I think I got you beat. So with that, you guys, I got a lifetime. I got a lifetime of different experiences. I was brought up in an entrepreneurial family, but I've really kind of done it all. I went to college and was going to go the traditional career path and became a psychologist, was enrolled in med school, going to go be a psychiatrist, kind of got detoured there, worked in the court systems, worked with addictions and family counseling. And at the same time, I was always pulled towards entrepreneurship. So like Ali D, I think I've been in every company. I think, the first one was Avon when I was probably 16 years old or something like that, right? So I've had traditional brick and mortar businesses. I was thinking about it today, and I think I've had 6 of them. And I've done traditional. I come from old school, belly to belly. But you know what is so exciting? Is you can teach an old dog new tricks. And I have been learning these new tricks over the past 2.5, 3 years with these guys. So excited to be here. And everybody will find out that I have no trouble talking. I have trouble being quiet. So I want to turn it back.
I don't know about that. She knows how to play her card right. Let's go to Tukoyo, my man from North Carolina. What's up, brother?
As Mr. Ali Mehdaoui said, my name is Tukoyo Carlton. I'm right here in Fayetteville, North Carolina. My background has been nothing but sales and marketing. Well, I had a little stint in the military for 4 years, active duty in the Army. But once I got out, I knew I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. So I actually got into the communication field, started a cell phone location in the Austin, Texas market from AT&T, T-Mobile, Sprint, all those companies, right? So I was prime code, so I'm kind of dating myself, right? But again, I went from there and I was introduced to this home-based business phenomenon, right? And a gentleman told me about a company. He said, you may or may not be interested. So I took a look at the company. And of course, I was lit right there. I was ready and I was excited about taking part in this entrepreneurial-based, home-based business. And of course, from there, that was 2000. Here it is, 22. So that's 22 years of experience in the home-based business arena. And as my young friend said, I've learned from the old school. That's who my mentors were. Those are the folks who told me how to go out and belly to belly before internet was a thing, right? Before we can go online and watch a YouTube video, we were out talking to people and just having conversations. And so again, that's what we're going to talk about. That's what I bring to the table. I bring that old school mix with a new school feel. And so again, I send it back to you, Mr. Mehdaoui.
The four of us specifically in here share a common experience over the last 2+ years where we were part of building an entrepreneurial community. And what started as the sweetheart of all sweetheart of movements and really disrupted a space itself, kind of took a little bit of a turn recently, right? Separations, a lot of he said, she said, a lot of things that were done wrong, a lot of bad mismanagement, whether it's fund mismanagement or whatever the case may be. And I could probably say that we've learned a whole lot, just from identifying from our own vantage points, our own seats, our own experiences, whether from an investor standpoint, whether from just putting in 2+ years in developing something from scratch. God, I know that I've gone through that. So I want us to just have an open conversation, and definitely don't put yourself in a situation where I have to be a Mr. Guru business, just talk to me. There's 4 of us chilling in a room, right? And let's have an honest conversation over the last 2 years. If you were to advise somebody right now as a strategic partner, hey man, let me help you find a good company from your experience, give me some of the traits. Let's start with, here's what I would look for in a company to begin with, whether it's network marketing or whatever that it may be from your experience. So Debbie, you're nodding your head. Let's jump on, and don't get mad at me if I interrupt. This is a show.
Oh, so absolutely not. Listen, if there's one thing I can do is hang out and chill. Right.
I love it.
And with you guys, it's going to be amazing. So yes, we have just come through, a 2.5 year experience, and it's great. Here's the thing. It's another learning, growing opportunity.
Yep.
Right. But the first thing I want to say out of the gate, the first thing that comes to mind is if you're shown an opportunity, whether it's traditional or not, something in that opportunity has got to light you up. Right. You got to like something about that. Right. I'm going to be perfectly honest. Okay. I'm a woman, but I am not big into makeup. So when I did Avon at 15, it just really didn't end up being my thing. Right. Because
no digs on makeup. I'm into makeup every now and then.
Tokoyo, you don't need it, brother. You got this going on. But you've got to have some interest, right? Some passion, something about whatever the business or the project is that makes you turn your head, right? If you don't start with that, you got nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, I agree. My son and I think you guys have heard Sebastian before. We always talk about, I either win or I learn. Right. And I genuinely believe that with everything that's within me. And I learned a lot. Like God knows I have learned a lot, and I'm always going to maintain my student mindset and mentality. And I can help a lot of people kind of identify, another layer of what is good and what could be, challenging. Tokoyo, talk to me, man. I know you've seen a lot of things since 1998 in this space. The last 2 years, give me the good. Like, what are some of the things that you could look back and say, man, this is the best thing that I've gotten out of this, or what has happened for me as an experience? And don't be mad at me if I have some music playing in the background.
No problem. So here's the thing, guys. I was literally just on a conversation about maybe an hour ago. Someone reached out to me from that previous experience. Yeah. We're going to just call it an experience for now. Is that okay?
Yeah.
And so the whole thing, he called me up and he was asking me because he wasn't really plugged in, but he saw this email. And so he reached out to me. And so we just had a conversation and just wanted to make some things clear with him. Like, there's certain things that I saw, and I remember reaching out to you and kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like, so about 2 years in, like 2 years ago, when I first joined with this company or this experience, one of the things I noticed is that the growth was very stale, right? There was no growth. So if a company doesn't have growth, let's say you're looking at a company right now, and if this company is a brand new company, let's say, within the first couple months or maybe year, yeah, they got to get some traction. They got to get some people in there. But
Yeah.
if the company's been around for a while, guys, you've got to start looking at how is the company moving, right? Is anybody growing? Is anybody getting promoted? Who's getting paid? Is it the same old people, right? Is it duplicating? So those are some of the things you got to ask yourself when you're looking at a company. So again, I've been around for a while. And of course, this experience that I've had, the last experience I had, I really can't say anything negative about the experience because it led me to so many incredible people who are on this live right now. And so again, I've met incredible friends, you know, got reunited with my little bro, Ali Mehdaoui, right? Met some new friends, right? Deb and Ali, right? And so again, I don't mean to cut your name off, Debbie, but
You good?
but the experience was awesome. So again, as Ali said, either you either learn from it. I'm sorry.
Either you win or you learn.
Either you win or learn. But I was trying to go somewhere else with it because sometimes it's about growth. The experience is the growth. Yeah. So again, just going through this, a lot of you guys, this is your first company, the company that we were part of, or you were part of that company, but you had no previous experience. So you didn't know how that felt for the company to go belly up. You didn't know how that felt to see other people just chasing off and calling people in your organization to see, hey, look, hey, are you interested in taking a look at this? You didn't know that, you know, things would go that way because you thought friends were friends, right? You didn't know that it would be cutthroat when people decide to go somewhere else and don't stay where you're currently at, right? Those are some of the things to watch out for. You got to watch out for the people who are, you know, a friend today and a snake tomorrow. Right? So you can get that based on their conversation because listen, people can't hide for long. Their true colors always come out. So again, you have to pay attention to the so-called leadership or the people who are in the leadership positions. What are they saying? What are they doing? Is it consistent? Those are just some of the things. I pass it on.
You gotta love Tokoyo. You know, he was so
keep it real, brother.
positive.
Keep it real.
Political, but he slapped in such a nice, cute way. He's like, I'm gonna whip you, but you're gonna love me while I'm whipping you. While you're getting a whooping, you're gonna be like, I love you still, Pop. I love you. No, that's good, man. I'm grateful to
you know what, though? We got to be able to do that in a way.
Listen,
you really do.
It is what it is because eventually, you know, I believe that everything always comes to light. And, you know, I mean, listen, it is what it is, right? Ali D, I know that, let me just give you a fun fact, by the way, y'all. So Ali D, I remember the very first day when we started working together. And this you know, young lady, still very young, but she was younger, let's just say 2 years younger. And, you know, we're talking about like, you know, hey, you got to get yourself out there. You got to go live. And she's like, live, like Facebook Live. And I'm like, yeah, like camera live. Right. And we're working together to find her, get her out of her shell. And she decided one day, I'm like, you know what? I made a decision. I'm going to go and make this happen. I'm going to do it. I'm like, all right, cool. Let's go. And then we agreed that we're going to go live once a day, you know, and I think we started once every other day or something like that at first. And I'm gonna tell the story. You ain't taking that one from me, Ali. So she goes, yeah. So I'm gonna go live every single day, and I think she started the first time was it like 5:30 or 6 o'clock in the morning?
It was at between 5:30 and 6 in the morning.
Thinking that no one is going to watch, that she can just get away with murder, and she could be terrible, brutal, and no one will watch her. This just shut my big pot up. Hey, Ali Mehdaoui here, the author of The Lion Network Marketer. You may be one of the 47,000 people who have purchased the original book 5 years ago, but today we have recorded the audiobook version. But for every chapter from 2016's launch, we've added a new chapter from 2020. Pick up your copy today at no cost to you in winwithali.com. And little that she knew, people were watching, and I will never forget the day that she texted me, like, people are texting me like, why didn't you do your live? Is everything okay? At 5:30 in the morning. So it was just validation of how good you were, and to see you from scared, terrified, don't know what I'm doing, to having your own clientele, making money online, building your own brand. And, you know, I'm grateful that you've given me the opportunity to be, you know, partnered up, colleagues and business partners, and, you know, to be strategic partners together. So talk to me about the last 2 years for you.
Well, if there's one thing that I've learned, well, I guess the type of person I am too, but if you just do what you're told from the people that know what they're doing, right, you can really grow. Because just real quick, going back to that story you were sharing, I remember when you were just telling me to go live, right? You need to go live. Okay, I can do that. Go live every day. That's a lot. Go live every day for 40 days. You're really pushing this. Go live every day for 40 days at the same time of the day. And I was just like, Ali, you're killing me here. And I do have to say, I did not make it all 40 days. I think I did about 27 and then got sick and used that as my excuse. But I learned to go live. And yeah, like Ali said, that really helped build my audience and build my business. So that is something I got. And I almost got real emotional when Takoya was talking about the people, right? These last 2 years, like it was a learning experience. I've learned so much. I've grown so much. But the people that I've been connected with, you know, some have kind of gone their own way, but for the most part, y'all are still my family. And there's so many of you that have still checked up on me, even if I wasn't really active in what was going on, or we hadn't talked in much. You know, there's still love there. It was still, I knew that I could call Ali or Debbie or whoever, you know, and send a text, and you guys were there for me. And so that's been an amazing plus side of the past 2 years, and it allows us to connect with each other and move on to future endeavors like what we have going on right now. So that's been an amazing learning experience.
Well, congratulations to all three of you, because we've all seen the height of the peak, and you know, we definitely have experienced a little bit of the valley. Some of us were underwater, you know, like I know that a lot of the leadership, like, you know, a lot of people don't see leadership sometimes. Like, we fought, we argued, we got into things. It was for the right reasons, right? But you know, we were grown men and women who were like, no, it needs to be this way. And you're like, yeah, but it needs to be that way. No, I like it black. No, I like it red. No, I like it. Yeah. I mean, and it was a lot of that, but we've always figured out a way, you know, when we would come to the big house and there's the kids everywhere, right? That's what we were like, hey, the kids are here, behave. And we would get along, and we genuinely were getting along all the time. And, you know, I'm grateful for every memory. I'm grateful for every relationship. I'm grateful for every lesson. I'm even grateful for anyone who may have even felt mad at me for any reason or anything like that, because it only gave me an opportunity to reevaluate myself. Like, you know, did I actually do right, or am I just into my own head thinking that I'm doing the right thing and I'm doing something wrong against somebody, right?
It's real funny because we're in relationship marketing, right? Network marketing, you know, multi-level marketing. That's what a lot of us have been involved in, along with traditional. Here's the key that I think a lot of people forget. And what we're sharing with you that we're grateful for is the relationship part, right?
It
was real. You work the relationship so that no matter, like for me, that's the most important thing in my entire life that's it. Relationships with my husband, my children, my family, my friends. And that's where I personally, you know, pour the most of my energy in, because it doesn't matter what you do, where you go, if you keep those relationships. And as Ali said, you know, I had to do the same thing. I took an opportunity and looked, did I handle things the way, you know, that my core values want things to be handled? Did I keep my side of the street clean, right? Because that's what's so important, and to continue and have that relationship. So just had to add that, because you guys are going to know that's what I'm all about.
Ali, what you got?
Yeah, so I just wanted to piggyback off of what Takoya said about success, because something that I really learned, you know, is that success is different for everyone. And I used to think that maybe I was just kind of weird at first, because a lot of online businesses, right, the multi-level marketing, they have that idea of the fancy cars and the luxury vacations. And granted, those things are nice. I'm not complaining if I got one of those or went on one of those trips, but I started realizing like that wasn't success for me. I'm just not a materialistic person. So success for me is just having that real time freedom, you know, not the time freedom where you're working on vacation, but like can literally put your phone away because you know your business is running itself and you're spending one-on-one time with your family. And so one thing about the community and the experience that we were in was that I saw different people achieving different versions of success. It wasn't always about the vacation or the money. So for some people, it was just connecting with others, right? Growing their audience. For me, I had never reached any type of success, like didn't achieve anything that I was looking for until this past experience. And so that made it really bittersweet for me, because this was like the first time I was achieving things, my goals in my life. But you know, we move on, and I learned from that, we move forward. But I just wanted to throw that out there, that success can be different for everyone. So if it's not the fancy cars and luxury vacations, you know, what is it for you? Maybe it's just connecting with others and having that family, like what we had found with each other.
Exactly. I love that, Allie. And you know, it's true, because when I started, it was 1992 that I actually started my first real network marketing company. And my husband had a really great corporate job, but he worked 1,000 hours a week, you know, that old scenario. But I just wanted to do something like you while I was bringing up my kids. I wanted to have something else, right? And it's funny because my husband didn't really take it seriously. He was like, yeah, sure. Do whatever you want. Do your little gig on the side. Right. But for me at that period of time, it was my children that was the most important. But I wanted to have something else. So as I worked my side gig, it just started out. My first goal was like $500 a month. That was all I was looking for, was let me just get an extra $500 a month. Well, fast forward a number of years, let me think, probably 7 or so years. I'm not great with math in my head. I'm going to admit that to you right now. But about 7 years or so, I had been doing the side gigs and putting stuff away. And a situation arose where my husband lost his corporate job, right? And we went from high 6 figures to 0 overnight. Well, luckily, we had been living the principles of living below our means, but I, with my side gig, had put enough money away for us to live for 4 years. Wow. If he had not even gotten another job.
You brag about it. You go, girl. I love that.
Yes. Now, there were no fancy cars in the yard, right? I was in a minivan or whatever, but everything for 4 years was able to be covered because of the silly side gig that I was doing, right? So
that's awesome. That's all. You are the example that we shine onto everybody. Some people only think it's either the fancy car or none. They don't see this story in between, right? Like many people, I think Tokoyo knows this, but many don't know. Like my wife and I had one car for the last 5 years up to like last October. And then we got a second car because we had a second baby. We're like, hey, you're going to have to go to one sport and I'm going to have to go to another. So I think it's time, right? But we literally, even our car, like we leased cars for Uber and Lyft drivers for a period of time. Sometimes we're like, there's a car out there, go shopping, go get some food. like where you go? I'm like, I got a car, so I'm going to go get some food shopping. Hi, my name is Ali Mehdaoui, and I have spoken over 500 conferences in 3 languages, including TEDx and many Fortune 100 companies, sold books in 7 countries, and I focus on helping struggling entrepreneurs to leverage social media and the digital space to create brand equity and revenue. Visit me today at winwithali.com and let me show you how we can grow your financial bottom line and help you expand with momentum. All right, let me go back to my partners in here. And, we talked about the best parts. If I were a prospect / a friend of yours and I come to you, I'm like, dude, like, I don't want to get played. What are some of the big no-nos to watch out for that you could advise me on when it comes to a network marketing company or business opportunity? Your answer to that person would be, and let's start with Ali D, if that's okay.
Okay, yes. So since
I don't know if you were ready for that, but I
was ready. All of us have been in all sorts of opportunities and programs and companies. So one of the really big ones, though, that I kept falling for were big income claims, like promises, right? Big promises. And that sounded really good to me, right? Like I said, I wasn't really after materialistic things, but I definitely wanted some more money in my pocket. And, the first 30 days you can make XYZ amount of money, and you can't fall for those promises, because they cannot promise you anything. They can't. It depends on your work ethic. It depends on your following. It depends on, your passion. It depends on a lot of different factors on what kind of income you could be making. And one time I even hit a bonus. I was posting it and they took it away from me because something didn't line up right, like the IP address. They thought I was buying product to hit this bonus basically, and so they can't make income promises. You just can't. So that's a big one. And second one that I really learned from this last experience is to watch how fast a company grows. Watch how fast, because a lot of times if something is just starting out, that can be a good time, right, to get in, to be, at the top, so to speak. But at the same time, if they're growing really, really rapidly, that can be a red flag.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna come off what she just said right there. That last red flag. If the company is growing too fast, that means there's a lot of people getting thrown against the what? Wall.
Mm-hmm.
See if they stick. That type of thing. So again, we know that anytime a company starts up, or they bring in a new leader, or whatever have you, they're looking for immediate satisfaction, right? They're looking for someone to come in and bring all these people in. But here's the thing, guys. Me personally, now again, it's just me. I know there's some guys out there, it's all about the money. I love the money. I love what it allows us to do. But it's more important about the people that we bring in. And that's probably why I haven't built a team of 100,000 plus people, because I've always built slow and steady, because I understand if I build that relationship, and that's the reason why you guys are on this Zoom tonight, on this live tonight, because we built relationships, right? And we built it so strong that people, like even myself, even though I call myself a leader, I miss the 11 o'clock dailies. I really did. I do. And I still do. Every now and then my head was programmed for them, right? So the whole thing is simple, this guys. What she said is so very true. So if a team is growing so fast, you want to look out for that, because again, it's going to stop at some point, because people who build real fast, and what I've seen over the years, those same people who are building fast, they got some kind of deal in the beginning that you have no idea they got, right? They have a contractual agreement with the company, right? The company says, hey, you got 3 months, 6 months, you do this, you hit this bullet point, you get this. They get their money, they fulfill their contract, and they're off and running to the next deal. So again, you guys, a lot of people don't know that, because that's the big player guys. The guys that's been around, the 6-figure, the 7-figure, the 8-figure income earners, that's their play. So they'll go from company to company, and that's how they make their existence, because they're making all the money up front, not over time. So you have to watch that too as well. I send it back to you.
Yeah, and I love how Tokoyo yields his time back every single time. I yield the remainder of my time.
I yield the floor
to the gentle woman from Massachusetts / Florida. Debbie, talk to us.
Well, it's I already love this so much, because you guys are saying what I'm thinking, right? Because I'm going to tell you, there's a lot that actually goes into choosing a company. And the thing is what you briefly touched on is sometimes going with a startup is really the way to go, because there's a lot of opportunity in there. But you also have to keep in mind that then you can have things happen, like just happened to us in 2.5 years, because it takes about 2 years to see a company flop out. That's kind of the general stat, right? So, you've got to be able to take that risk, right? And then each of us individually can only determine our own ability for risk, how old we are, what we're investing, time, whatever it is. But sometimes you do all of your due diligence, you do all of it. You get all the questions answered, and they all get answered the affirmative, and it still doesn't work out. Yeah. And guess what? That's okay. That's life. That's entrepreneurship. So you have to get some thick skin about that and recognize that that's just the way it is. But I want to piggyback again off of Tokoyo, because one of the things I really despised about this industry was exactly what you were talking about. And a lot of people that come into this industry are unaware of it. That sliding in of the big leader, that goes above everybody, right? And everybody's going, whoa, where did that person just come from, right? And I'm gonna be honest. I had a mentor who is no longer my mentor. I'm still a friend with him. He taught me great things, but he was that guy. That is what he's done his entire career. He has a team of 3,000-4,000 people that follow him from company to company. And he goes, he gets a good deal. He brings them all over. They make their cash, they fill their contract, and they're on to the next one, right? And, that's a lot of the stuff that people don't realize that goes on out there. And I think that that's one of the things we're going to be talking about here is really, digging into a lot of that stuff and taking a look at it. Because the other thing is you see people come in and they have a meteoric rise. Mm-hmm. And the rest of you are sitting there, you're going, oh my gosh, I've been digging in the trenches and I've been building these relationships and I'm barely ranking up. And this person, flies up. Meteors and comets burn out. They burn out and they move on. So I use the exact words that you guys are using. Slow and steady. Slow and steady. My teams know I have a traditional way of building my business with my team. First person I ever have join me, I start having a meeting. In the old days, it was in person or on the telephone. Now it's on Zoom. Guess what? We talk about business, but we start to learn about each other. I want to know who they are, what's their family like, what's their life like, what issues are they in? And we build that. And for the first month in business with me, that's what I'm doing. I am learning about you and your family before we're ever really moving into the business. Now, that being said, if it's somebody that's already been in this industry and they're ready to run, I might not be doing that as heavy. But you build tight and you build that family foundation and nobody gets left behind or slips between the tracks because you know what's going on.
And real quick to it, I'm just going to piggyback off of you, Debbie.
Yeah, baby.
If I can do that.
Yes, sir.
But the whole thing is this too. So she talked about, having those down. And let's just talk about the last 2 years, right? That has a positive impact on a lot of people's lives who are a part of that company and that movement. But at the same time, it hurt a lot of people at the end, even though it was all this good stuff in the beginning. So here's what I want to tell you. For everyone who's listening, who's going to listen, whether it's on the live or replay.
Ooh, I feel like there's a preaching moment coming up.
Don't quit, right? Because again, the company that you're a part of right now may not even have been the company that was for you, that was meant for you. Maybe it was just a lesson. Maybe it was just a thing you were supposed to go through so you can grow to the next place you were supposed to go to. So again, that company may have not been the deal. Maybe products wasn't you. Maybe the service company wasn't you. Maybe that leadership wasn't you. Maybe the style, the community wasn't for you. Your community is out there. Your leadership is out there. Your mentors are out there. So again, don't let it deter you from this industry. This industry is amazing. I've seen people's lives change all over the place. Young, old, married, divorced, you name it. There's no discrimination in this industry. So all I'm saying is don't quit. Allow yourself to learn from it. But more importantly, understand when you go to the next one, what to look for. And of course, ask the right questions. Just don't jump in. Does that make sense? And again, even if it's someone you love and care about, you still have to ask questions. Now, there's some people that I do know that I'll jump right in, but best believe I'm going to ask questions, 1 million of them, after the fact, right? Because I trust them that much. But again, that's all I had to say to you. I just want to make sure that everyone who's listening, who's been through a bad experience, is that you don't quit and that you continue to rise and keep on, running and use, outlets like this to get that encouragement, to learn the things that your mentors and the people that you've done business with don't tell you. See, here we keep it real. Look, this is the first show and I'm already speaking into existence. We keep it real. That's just who we are. We've got a lot of experience. Matter of fact, I was saying that earlier, we got over 70 years of experience right here in these 4 blocks, right? He's on 1st Street, 2nd Street, 3rd Street, 4th Street. We got it all covered, right? So again, I yield back to you, Ali.
Oh, he yielded back again. Go ahead, Ali,
if you don't mind, I don't want to piggyback off of anyone. I just want to throw in a little something extra.
Yeah, let's go. Everybody piggyback off of everybody. We don't got.
Yeah, no, this is not piggyback off anything anyone said, but I do want to throw this in. So if you find yourself in a position like we seem to have, and everything looked good at first, and you're in the opportunity, and if things start feeling like they're going south or just don't align with you, or you're unsure of some things, I recommend just pulling back a little bit. That's what I did. And I pulled back. I let those that were a part of my team kind of know what was going on. I didn't badmouth anybody or anything. I just said, I'm pulling back a little bit. I'm trying to watch what's going on. When more and more things kept coming into this experience, this opportunity, I just kind of put my brakes on, because for me, until I knew it was still aligned with me, I didn't want to keep bringing anybody else into this, because I didn't want to burn anyone else. And the most important thing you can do is keep your own integrity and make sure that you are an honest person. And I didn't want to keep bringing people in just to get a paycheck when I wasn't too sure where this was going. And I knew that my reputation would be on the line. So definitely keep that in mind. That's your everything, because that's your following, that's the people that are watching you. And if you slip that up, it's going to be real hard to build up. My dad always told me that it only takes a second to lose trust and a lifetime to build it back.
Oh man, that is the truth too.
Yeah.
I had that experience in another company, Allie, just to tell you, I was in another company that it ended up that the company was fine, but there was a few issues that were going on with some processing and that type of stuff. So I did the same thing. I kind of backed off a little bit, and I had a person reach out to me. They had seen me. And again, this was a different company, not this one. This was probably 10 years ago. And they reached out to me, and they had seen me on a presentation, and they said, listen, we want to join that company like right now, and we want to join with you. And I didn't even know her. And I said, listen, I'm not going to sign you up right now because I'm a little concerned they're having difficulty processing the credit cards, and I'm not. And she said, are you kidding me? And I said, no, I just won't. I don't want to do that. Yeah. And so a few weeks went by, and she came back and said the same thing. She goes, I really want to sign up. And I said, well, if you're going to sign up, honey, you're going to have to sign up with someone else, because I don't like the way this is looking, and I won't sign you up just to make that $500. Right. And let me tell you, so we are still friends. And she has joined me in other business ventures and there's been others in between where she's come to me and I said, yeah, I don't think that looks good. Right. Or let's take a look at this one. Yeah. Because as you said, that's what we have at the end of the day. That's what we have. And what Ali has taught me personally, and so many of you guys, I know it, that are watching live or replay, I know that you're going to be able to say this same thing, is he taught us to brand ourselves.
Right.
Brand ourselves. And by branding ourselves, we brand our core values as well. And those core values are what stand the test of time. Not my hair turning gray, not me losing a little weight, gaining a little weight, right? It's those things that stand the test of time.
100%. I guarantee you, many people, many new generations might not know who Les Brown is. But I can say, you got to be hungry. And everybody knows exactly who I'm talking about, right? So it's an interesting fact. Here's the thing. I'll tell you, me personally, is believe the past of the person that is in front of you. Now, sure, you got to cut people slack and give them grace. But I talked about it so many times, including yesterday. The credit card companies or the car loan companies, they give you sometimes up to 7 years before they say, all right, I'll give you another shot, right? 7 years. And if somebody just 2 years ago did something dirty and hurt a lot of people along the way, sure, they may have, come to their senses and things are a little bit different, but believe the person, right? And do a little bit more homework. The biggest mistake or lesson, I guess I would say, that I learned over the last 2 years for me is I fell in love fast with someone's character without identifying if it was, a real skin or just, fall or whatever they call it. I don't know what's the exact way of saying it, right? And I learned, I forgive, I move on, all is well. But it's gonna be something that is gonna leave me on guard for a very, very long time, because a lot of people along the way are impacted by everything that I do. I'm just grateful that we had this open conversation as our very first episode, because we're just going to get into so much more fun conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, strategic partners. Hey, we're going to do around the world 1 minute each, because there's exactly 3 minutes and we got to drop 1 minute each. give us your final thought of the day. Ali D, you go first.
Of course, you had to pick me first. I was thinking. Okay, so my final thought, though, is that it is amazing to be here with all of you. I am so excited for what's to come from this. Thank you for watching with us, and I just can't wait to see you guys soon.
Right on. Debi Salmons.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you, everybody, for being here. This is so exciting. My final thought is this: do not give up. Do not worry how many times you've failed. Do not worry if you've made a bad decision, because we all have, and we all will continue to do so. And you're going to learn how to overcome those and rise up no matter what. So I look forward to seeing you guys each week.
So Koyo.
Hey, guys, I'm super excited. I cannot wait to start working with you. I can't wait to hear the stories. Again, everyone's success story is different. But again, listen, I can't wait to see whatever the success story is for you. But again, do me a favor. Do not miss our next live coming up in about an hour. So that's my last thing I'm going to give you. Make sure you click that link. Make sure you understand that, hey, look, this is the place to be. Log in, share the link with others so they can get the same powerful information as you are. Hey, with that, I send it back to you, sir.
He yields his time yet again, and I am your host with the avocado toast. I cannot share my gratitude, and I can't wait to help you create your success stories as well. We love and thank you, and until next time, hey, tell them peace out, everybody.
Peace out.
Peace.